Good morning, guys. So, I'm sorry that I haven't been on posting in the last week. I've really had a lot going on, and I'm trying to balance my life with everything that I'm dealing with right now. But I'm trying to post as often as I can, really. But I have been thinking a lot about this lately, and I know that this isn't something that is just solely regulated to me or anybody that's neurodivergent, but really for anybody that suffers with silent ailments and having people look at you like there's nothing wrong with you because they can't see what is wrong with you, and so they either don't believe that there's something wrong with you, or they just brush it off. I have dealt with this situation my whole life where I have dealt with being in pain and not feeling well, having just in general body issues, and I didn't really realize what was going on with me, but I knew that I didn't feel well, and I knew that I was feeling pain, but because they couldn't find what was wrong with me on an x-ray, I was told that I was making it up, it was all in my head, or I had to justify why I didn't feel well to appease other people because they didn't understand why I didn't feel well, and I had to have a reason because you just can't go around feeling poorly for no reason, right? And instead of doing further scans, tests, whatever, to find the reason for why I wasn't feeling well, I've been told my whole life that it's all up here. And I know that I'm not the only one that this has to affect. People that deal with any silent ailment has to go through this, right? If you have a broken leg, if you have an obvious outward issue, then people tend to be more sympathetic, empathetic, and be able to understand, okay, I see the issue, I understand that there's a problem, and I can put a name to what's going on. But if you don't have something visible, then it's not a problem. that problem doesn't exist. And I'm just here to say, if you aren't one of those people that has a silent ailment and you don't understand, look up the spoon theory, because we're already working at a deficit, and we have less energy, or I don't even know if it's energy. It's just less of everything than people that are not working at that deficit already. When you wake up and you already don't feel good, when you don't sleep well, when you go through your day and you're struggling from the moment you wake up until the time you go to sleep, just to be able to accomplish the bare minimum of things that you need to be able to accomplish, it's really hard, because I know for me specifically, I end up struggling because, first off, I don't sleep well. I have struggled to, first off, get sleep. And then staying asleep is another struggle. And then having to get up and be able to accomplish the same things as everybody else. But I already have a hard time with doing all of that because I am neurodivergent. And that stuff is a struggle for me to start with. And I already don't feel good. My body is in pain. I have low energy. My stomach doesn't feel good. And so that makes it even harder. And I know that most people aren't doing it out of a place of rudeness or to be hurtful. You're genuinely doing it because you don't understand. But it's something that you need to start putting forth an effort into trying to understand, because you are around people. They're your friend, they're your partner, they're your parent, your child, whomever these people are to you. And they deserve to be understood just like you do. And if you don't understand these people in your life, you're going to continue to push them beyond their breaking points. And they are going to feel like they have to continue living up to a standard that you're setting for them that isn't healthy for them, because they're not really physically, mentally, and emotionally capable of doing the things that you are necessarily asking of them. And if you push them one day to do more than they are capable of, the next day, they're going to have even less to start with than they normally would. And that's really hard on the person that you're pushing past their limitations. And I'm not saying that these people aren't willing to do that for you because they care about you and they love you. But if you continuously push them and deplete them, and you never let them recharge and get back to their baseline where they are able to do the best to their most maximum capabilities, then they are always going to be working at an absolute deficit for themselves. And it becomes harder and harder and harder for them to get up in the morning, to brush their teeth, to wash their hair, to take a shower, to go to work, to come home and take care of the house, to do any of the stuff that they have to do with their day, to be able to go and feed themselves. And I know that this sounds like a stupid thing to some people, but for people that are working with a deficit already, mentally, physically, emotionally, you don't know the struggle that we are working from. And I'm not trying to give us excuses, because we still need to be able to push ourselves a little bit, obviously. And obviously there's pain thresholds everybody has to work past. But if you, as the person in their life, see them struggling, then you need to take a step back and maybe figure out how to help them balance the things that are on their plate so that the spoons that they're working with work for them and not against them. Because it's hard enough just being us, whether you're neurodivergent and working with body issues, or you're just working with body issues. It's hard. And you're never going to know what another person is dealing with unless you're in their body. So don't assume that just because you look at somebody and you don't see their struggle doesn't mean that it isn't a struggle. Just because you don't see the struggle doesn't mean it's not there. The struggle is real. And sometimes it's hugely detrimental. And for the people that are dealing with it, sometimes it's crippling. We push ourselves to our breaking points. And having somebody else do it for us and keep pushing us and not try to understand what we're dealing with, that's hurtful. Because all we want is to be acknowledged that we are pushing ourselves, that we don't feel the best, and that we're doing the best that we can with what we have. And that some days, the best that we have is getting out of bed. And some days, the best that we have is everything. Those days are not always going to come. And sometimes those are few and far between. But if you foster our ability to work with what we have, and you pick up the slack where we're struggling so that we are able to do what we are capable of doing, and let us run with what we're capable of doing, and you understand that, then when we are able to do more, you'll get far more out of us because we want to do it. We want to be out there being able to do everything that you're doing. Sometimes we're just not capable. Anyway, guys, that is my thoughts for the morning. And thank you to all of you who continue to watch my videos. To any of you who find value in what I'm doing, please hit the subscribe button. Like, share, comment. That way more people can find me. That way you can find me easier. I'm grateful to each and every one of you. And I hope that any of this helps. I can't say that I'm an expert, because I'm not. I'm literally just talking from personal experience, from what I've seen and witnessed in the world, from everything that's going on, you know? So, on that note, I hope that you guys have a lovely day, and I will catch you again next time. Bye.